Hello, Bill Molyneux here with another exciting game of the French Indian War Board Game Volume 1, aka used to be Bloody Mohawk. Again, French Indian War Board Game Volume 1 is sold through Fast Play War Games, Adventure Game Source, found on the internet. Jeff Valente is my printer. So we have played the Battle of Carillon and the French succeeded. So now our next game in the rule book is the Plains of Abraham. And our French Indian War reenactor that's featured on that page is none other than the great Commander Dave Bybee of Contrecoeur unit outside of Pittsburgh area, or more like Carlisle, I think. So let's get right to the game so I don't bore everyone. I have several optional rules and reinforcements for the Plains of Abraham. But the game we are playing is going to be the pure historical version. So, and if you don't know anything about the Plains of Abraham, that's what Google is for. So we have our leader Montcalm. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 French lines, and we have 2 milice, 3 milice. No natives. On our British side, we have Wolf, a reduced value grenadier, light gun, our 4 light infantry, 2 provincials, and a rangers unit. So, very quickly, there are some optional reinforcements. On a roll of a 1 on a D10, Bougainville can show up with a milice unit and a line unit in the British rear. That's one of the options. Another one is the French could add a light gun to their force, brought out from Quebec. And another one is more reinforcements are sent here, which would include a couple more milice, which are our French militia. But in this scenario, we are playing the Plains of Abraham, purely historical. I'm going to pause the camera. As you see, the map is sort of boring. And on we go. I'm going to set up the table. All right, well, we're ready to play. The French are the first players. We're going to go ahead and I put the milice on the right. For the British, I did the provincials and the rangers. Incidentally, the 1 grenadier is considered a Highlander. So we have no trees in this version. So that makes the movement totally different than many of the games that you have previously watched. If you've been watching my games, we've had the issue of trees and forests. So the French have advanced. It's now the British fire phase. Well, the British have an artillery piece and has a range of 1, 2, and 3. So here is so we're going to do our ranges. Since it's probably the first time we really used artillery because it was sort of overrun during the Battle of Monongahela game. For the light gun, it's a 1, 2, and a 3. So here it gets a modifier for bonus of -1 on the die roll. Here it's a 0, and here it's a +1 on the die roll. So our gun is a 1 through 6, firing at long range. It needs a 1 through 5. And I rolled a 1. So this unit has been hit by the guns. And its morale is fine. We do have to check on Montcalm to see if he got hit by anything. No. And our leader is fine. We did not repeat history as of yet. So that is our British defensive fire. We have no French offensive fire. So it's now the British movement phase. And Wolfe gives the order to advance, other than the gun. The French have no firing, and so we have no firing here for the French. And then we go to British offensive fire. This gun is going to fire there. And it hits this line unit. Well, that light gun is proving to be quite effective. And the morale holds on a 1 through 5. Morale is at number, so we're doing good. And please leave a comment if you're enjoying these game replays. If I should do volume 2, the other 14 scenarios. Because we're down to the Battle of St. Foy and Bushy Run after this one. So we've completed one complete turn. So I'm moving the old turn track marker, and we're going on to the French phase. So Montcalm is just giving the order to the left flank to advance. These units are both damaged. And for this scenario, I apologize, I did not initially run off with the victory conditions. Now, what's funny is, in the rule book, the victory conditions are on page 20. They're on the reverse side of the setup page. So whoever eliminates 5 units first. So our French have advanced. It's the British defensive fire. This gun is going to fire there. And this is where playing against another player is helpful. A person may have dropped this unit back so as not to be in range of that gun. So we're going to fire the gun first. And it missed with a 10. Our Highlanders over here, and they hit this line unit. And that line unit falls back 1. Wolfe himself, operating the Grenadiers, they needed a 1 through 9 with his leadership. That French unit, and that falls back. And then we have this line unit here. Let's see what happens. And they've been hit. Wow. But they hold. They are holding. So it's now the French fire phase, and the only thing we have is this. And he fails. That unit fails. That must have been Gwyn. So, boy, it's the British turn, and I think it's the British phase, and they're going to hold where they're at. I was thinking of advancing, but you know what? Let's send this line unit out to attack here. 1, 2, and this line unit attack there. Now I'm going to take a French defensive fire. So this unit's going to fire there, and it hits this line unit, and it holds in its morale. Montcalm gives the order to Regiment de Lorraine to fire, and they miss. And this line unit is firing there, and they hit this line unit. And their morale holds with a 3. So, this artillery piece has a line of sight to here. It can't fire through units unless it was on a hill. So it's going to fire first there with a 5, and that misses with another 10. This line unit's going to attack there, and it eliminates a French unit, and it's also going to advance. This unit's going to attack there with a 3. That eliminates that unit. Now Montcalm will die on a 1 through 5 or be captured, and he retreats to there, and this line unit's going to continue on. So we have this one here. We'll have 1 through 9, the Grenadiers, and they take out that line unit. And they're going to advance. Wolfe gives the order, forward. So my whole French attack seems like it's falling apart. I have not destroyed any British at this point. So we're going on to the next turn after we fire our French firing there. It's very sad that doing so poorly. And this Grenadier unit, and it does not, and Wolfe is fine, and our Milice misses. So at the end of turn 2, the whole French line's in a mess. So we're going to turn 3, and the French movement phase. I'm dropping these 2 units back. Montcalm is going there. These 2 Milice units. This Milice unit's going to fall back, and he's falling back. I got to get out of the range of the gun. So the only thing that can fire in defensive fire phase is this unit here, and it did it. My Milice morale is a 1, 2, or a 3 now, and it holds. So now we go back to the French offensive fire, and that's right here. And they scored a hit with a 1. So we finally knocked out a British unit. So it's a British movement phase. And I'm going to play conservatively. Wolfe has got several damaged units here. I pull them back. And I'm going to send forward this entire flank attack here. Now these French units all get to fire. We'll start with this Milice here on this line. And it failed. And a 1 through 5 on the line. Milice firing on the line. Milice going to fire there. And they failed. Wow. Our line units attacking the Milice, and they rolled a 5, and that eliminates that one. And the British attacking there. And this Milice is damaged. And this one will attack that Milice. And it's eliminated. You have to check the morale after all the firing is done on the unit. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go ahead and finish these off. That's a hit with a 3 and another 3. So, at the end of the turn 3, it's pretty bleak. The French have lost the Plains of Abraham. British have lost 1 line unit, but they have several units that are reduced strength. Our French, Montcalm survives, however, and so doesn't Wolfe. 2 things in the scenario. The artillery, I should have been more aware of that. And I was too aggressive with the French right off the bat. Now, if I had rolled for our optional things, I could have actually had a light gun set up with the French. I could have had the reinforcements from Bureauport, and that would have added me 2 more Milice units. And also, if Bougainville, coming in from the his force that was supposed to come in and help, which failed to make it, and that would have been a line unit and a Milice unit right here. So that's the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. I'm not going to play this game with the options A, B, and C, and I'm going to move on to the Battle of St. Foy. And then, of course, we'll be ending this with a non-French Indian War game, the Battle of Bushy Run, which the reenactment for that in Pennsylvania will happen in just a few weeks. So, in conclusion, the French Indian War battle pack Volume 1 is available through Fast Play War Games, Adventure Game Source. Also, many historic sites may or may not carry it. I hope many do. Really, my goal to have them in historic sites for tourists to buy to learn about the French Indian War. The manuals contain a little bit of history of each battle, and they go in the timeline of the battles. So, thank you for watching. Leave a comment. Stay safe, be kind, be courteous, and be extra kind. Thank you.